The Disneyland Limited.
Dude, what are you doing?
You said if I wanted to buy or sell a house in Central Florida that I should follow you.
On social media!
You got a link?
Buying or selling a home, visit celebratingflorida.com or follow me on social media.
And we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Parts Unknown.
We are live! Woo! It's been weeks since I've been able to say that. Woo!
Justin has been away for a while. I've been missing that. We are live! Woo! That's my favorite part of the whole thing. Caleb isn't in the chat to remind people not to follow, not to stalk Victor Nawrocki. Beatrice, are you blocking us out with your camera here? What's going on?
I don't know what's happening with my camera. I haven't blocked anything. That's really weird.
We see a little bit of a ceiling fan, I think, but other than that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I think I know what's going on.
You look using the wrong camera.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Let me see. I'm so good at technology. Hang on.
Okay. Well, while we wait for Beatrice, Justin, who do we have in the chat?
I'm so good at technology. Let me fix this.
We've got
I'll
Lily,
bring you back on
we've
when
got
you're...
Mary, we've got Marla Chan. Hi. We've got Cindy.
Yeah, we've got a good group here.
Got several people here already. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
We finally found out where Parts Unknown is.
Beatrice, yay!
There she is. I always say live from Facebook, YouTube, and Parts Unknown.
I really am here.
You are here. Okay. Yes, we're on Twitch now.
So Twitch is apparently our Parts Unknown.
Yeah. Oh, Dan's here too.
Hey, Dan. Maybe Dan can tell us where Twitch is, because no one here knows what that is. That's
well, should I be saying on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Parts Unknown?
Oh boy.
I don't know. So
I can't even figure out how to use my own camera. Do you think I'm going to know where Twitch is?
Louis Ramos is here. Hey.
He mentioned to a YouTuber today. They also do a Disney podcast because he was asking some kid a Canadian potato chip, and I said I knew you. It was either ketchup or all dressed. There we go. It's another platform.
Never heard of it.
Ah.
Yeah. Dan thinks Twitch is near Alaska.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. It's one of these things I think like people who play video games and stream themselves playing video games use a lot. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we're the perfect audience for kids playing video games. Mary says it's a gamer platform. There we go. So it's a gamer platform. I know that Kim used to do the her live shows on Twitch all the time, exclusively on Twitch. What is the definition of if you were to dust something? What would you say it would be?
Depends on if you're in the haunted mansion or not.
Huh. In trouble.
Most people if I'm dusting my office, I'm trying to get rid of the dust. If I'm in the haunted mansion, I'm adding dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in Tower of Terror.
Yeah. So it's removing small particles if you're dusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it can also be if you're dusting a cake, you're adding small particles. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. So gamers live in Alaska. There we go. Huh. Stan, I see you have the fox you built behind you. Yes. Nick Wild. Nick Wild is behind me.
He looks great.
He came out so good. I'm so happy with how he came out. Where am I going with this? It was just something I entered my little brain. That's sorry.
Did you create the whole design?
Mad, Mary. That's where he's going. He's just going mad.
Yeah, every week you watch me lose a little bit more for my IQ. Little by little, my IQ is dripping down every week. What were you saying, Beatrice?
Did you create the design for it?
No, it's a kit.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a kit. You have to follow the instructions.
Holy mollies.
Yeah. No, that would be. Anyways, so we're going to talk about Justin's trip. Is it actually called the Grand Circle Tour?
So there is a trip called the Grand Circle. That's basically what it is called, where you basically go on a loop around a bunch of different national parks, and there's different ways you can do it. If you look it up online, there's different itineraries, different routes to take, and all of that. But the basic idea is that there's like 5 to 7 national parks that you go by in this big loop of a road trip. And so we didn't go through all of them because a couple of them we'd already been to before. So we just went through the 5 big national parks in Utah primarily for the Grand Circle part of this tour. And then of course we went several other places because we started in North Dakota. So we drove down there, did this loop, and then did some other things and drove back. So
what I love about your trips is you always go like to the biggest ball of yarn or the UFO restaurant and stuff like that.
I love that.
Yeah. Mary wants to know, did you do the Lego film strip?
Oh, you mean the
camera? I think
camera?
You referring to.
Ooh.
This camera by any chance?
Here we go.
Nice.
Here we go. That camera. Yeah, that's the one. That's really nice.
That is great.
That is awesome. Is there any like little parts that what do they call it? Part used for not what its purpose is, like
nice part usage.
Yeah.
On this part of it, I'm not sure there's quite so much of that. The film strip is kind of a neat part that's definitely new.
You don't have tires in the 100s or something like that. Sometimes they do neat stuff like that.
You know, this part is like it's usually used as either a wheel or
that's nice part usage
or a pulley.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. But I mean, this part is pretty straightforward for most of that sort of thing for the part usage.
Mary's saying it's
you can hear it like even
Yeah.
make noise when it when I turn the crank. So that's really cool. And you can change the lenses.
Okay.
Wow.
And on this side, I believe it's on this side. Yeah. Inside here is a little
Walt's desk.
little desk for Walt to sit in.
That is awesome.
That really is the coolest. Wow.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we also have to do our draw today for the
Yeah, I heard you guys were doing a drawing of some sort, giving away a prize.
We had some great people responding. We had an awesome group of responses. Let's get to the where in the world is Walt?
You mean Victor?
Right. Like I said, I'm losing my IQ.
You and your names.
Where in the world is Victor Nawrocki?
Oh, I guess I should bring it up, eh? There we go.
That might help. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
Beatrice can't play because I showed it to her.
No,
yesterday. Beatrice is out. Yeah. So where in the world is this photo taken?
it almost looks like a face.
It kind of does look like a face. It's like a hidden face.
Stan stumped me with it.
Except the mouth is an eye. That's what's confusing me.
The chat is quiet.
They don't know where you're at either. There are rocks.
Lily, that.
Yes,
correct.
It is an Epcot. I'll give you that. It's an Epcot.
The face's hat makes me think of like Japan.
Shall I zoom out a bit?
That was not my first guess, so you got me beat on that.
Mary's guessed Canada. I think Beatrice. I think you guessed Canada as well. On a China.
That was one of my guesses. Yep, in all of my wrong guesses.
Let's zoom out a little bit. Whoa, there's another face.
Still looks like rock.
It still looks like rocks. People are checking their maps of Epcot now. I got mine right here.
Yep. I might be seeing that tomorrow.
There we go. Lily got it.
Yay!
Oh, Mary got it. Actually, Mary got in there first.
Marlo was right there too. Yep.
Yeah, Lily got it right after.
Yeah.
There we are. And Cindy's.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the little coconut guys from Moana because I was like, the second face kind of looks like that.
Yeah. So there's quite a few of them actually here, ready to squirt you. And I think in their mouth is where the squirters are coming from.
Oh.
Am I right, Beatrice?
That explains
I think so,
why.
Yeah. And then you put your hands out and it's very interactive. Okay. Sometimes they just spray at you. They're just on. I'm curious to see how they do it during cooler days. Because, sometimes they don't do water things here when it's cool. And that's an interactive water thing. Really?
Like I remember going there one time in February and it was fairly chilly. It wasn't hot by any stretch of imagination. And New Fantasyland had all the waterworks going and kids were running around in there and playing and you could see the steam coming off of them. It was
Maybe I'm just a big baby and I don't particularly do it. So I think it doesn't happen.
Don't go to the waterworks.
I think it doesn't happen just because I don't do it.
Justin, I'll let you
I'm so rusty at this. So our what are we calling this? Is brought to you by DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. Victor Nawrocki, the real estate person of choice. If you are going to the Orlando area, he can move you to the magic.
There we are. Jason Garcia. Haven't seen you in a long time in our chat. Great to see you again, my friend. I saw it. I need to watch this on my iPad so I can actually see what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's hard to do when you're on your phone.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All righty. Moving onward and upward. What's the other one that we do? MEI, it's in the details.
Yeah,
Ooh, I got a great one today.
Ooh.
I got a really good. This is myself and my daughter. Our very first trip to Disneyland. Her only trip to any Disney park.
and that's the detail. Good night, everyone.
That's my detail. What does Jason say? Thank you. Had a lot going on, but glad to be here tonight. Yeah, great to see you.
We're glad you're here.
So the detail isn't myself or it isn't my daughter. It's actually with the statue itself. As we know, this is Walt, right? Yeah, not Roy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Walt
California
basically
Adventure.
Coming to California, right? Because this is Disney's California Adventure.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be kind of like
his suitcase and his $40 in his pocket and jacket on his shoulder there. Yeah.
So there's a lot of details on this statue. So I'm going to drag it out and show it to you over for a couple. But the detail I'm looking at, the detail I'm looking at today is on the bottom of his shoe right here. Is a little detail there. And when we look at it, it has Marceline on the bottom of the shoe.
Oh, nice.
That's very cool.
And
that is not something a normal person would go and look at and notice.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So there you are. Lily is saying, who is it saying they got their picture with it? Had her picture taken in the same spot in June. Did you look at the shoe, Lily? Is the question.
Did you see this detail?
Yeah.
I love it.
So Mary says she has this as an ornament. Is the Marceline engravement on the ornament? I'm curious to know. But yeah, for sure. That's I thought that was a super cool detail.
Yeah.
That they added.
No, the bottom of the shoe here is very smooth on the ornament.
Okay, here you go.
So it is not, that detail is not on the ornament.
Barry, are you going to Disneyland in November? I'll let you know in November.
Wow.
Interesting. That is show for sure. That is definitely show. And Beatrice, that is brought to us by
MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Yay!
Yeah, no matter where you're going, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can absolutely help you out. They are fantastic to work with, and they do a great job.
Absolutely.
They just did a really neat thing with Disney. So they had some behind the scenes viewings of things and learned a lot of stuff. I was just talking to my agent today, and it sounded like it was an epic learning experience and lots of fun. So yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, they did that. They did a business meeting on the Wish, and Becky posted.
They were on the Wish. They were in Disney World. All over. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was cool.
You know,
I'm glad they fixed
my
that.
business meetings are never in places like that. I totally in the wrong job.
You know, oddly enough, my business meetings are all on Zoom now.
Oh.
Which is kind of like, I don't know, during COVID, we had all in-person meetings, it felt like. No, I guess we didn't. I guess that's kind of when we started doing them. We used to do telephone meetings.
Yeah.
Anyways. Jason is saying, I found that spot isn't usually too busy for photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can get a good photo there for sure. MEI is the best. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do contact MEI for your trip, let them know that the Grand Circle Tour podcast sent you.
Please do let them know Grand Circle Tour sent you.
Yes.
That works. They like to know where you come from. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
They will help you out.
So I wanted to talk about the House of the Future book. This book is amazing. I think it's like $60 on Amazon,
Wow.
US. It's like 72 Canadian. It's a thick book. Chris got her copy. This is the copy she got. Chris ordered it. And
Nice.
yeah, it's a beautiful looking book.
Oh, wow.
It has,
Oh, that is such an interesting topic as well.
yeah. And I guess Dave did a ton of research on it. And he went through, interviewed a lot of people that worked on it and all that. And there's a bunch of pictures that have never been seen, I guess. And that's one of the things. Oops, that was last week's. That is one of the things that's cool about is the House of the Future, like because it ended before I was born.
Huh.
They
Yeah.
got rid of it, you know.
It was one of those early days of Tomorrowland that is so early it was outdated before you were born, and so they had to change it.
Yeah. Well, I guess like the microwave, I guess, was the big highlight of it. That was
Right.
the round, you know. I mean, like the round, like the microwave came around after I was born. Marla's saying Becky sent me to MEI. Well, tell her, Becky, that I sent you, not her. So David is really nice enough to offer us a copy of the book. He's going to mail it out to the winner. So the winner is going to have to contact myself and give me their address, and I'll pass it off to David. Just a little something to know. David's out of the country for about a week, so it'll take a while before he actually gets around to mailing the book. He promises he will do it. He'll autograph it. And we had a lot of entries. This was amazing, this contest. I think this is our biggest contest we had as far as amount of entries we got in.
So the winner gets an autographed copy of this book.
Right. And it's kind of cool. Like, so the code that we used was friend 5 or friends 5. Hang on.
Stan doesn't even know, and it was his idea.
Yeah. So friend 5 was the code you had to send to us. And that's the code you can get if you want to contact, if you want to order the book, you can order it from the oldmillpress.com and use the code friend 5 and you get $5 off the book, which is
nice.
Decent, you know, so $60 would be $55 instead of $60 at the oldmillpress.com. So let's see who wins this book.
Spin the wheel.
Why don't it? There we go. Give it a good spin. And good luck to everybody that entered.
Yes, good luck.
Panda!
Panda! I saw him today.
Did you?
Yeah, he was in
There
the
we
Magic
go.
Kingdom.
That's better. So Panda won the book. That's awesome.
Yay!
Well, he will be very happy to get that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
He will like that. I'm pretty sure. That is very cool. Awesome. So we'll get I think I might have Panda's address somewhere around here actually.
Yep, I got a big panda hug today. He was in the Magic Kingdom. And tomorrow I'll be in Epcot. Congratulations to Panda.
Yeah, for sure. Jason's saying he uses that work. That wheel is awesome. That's like my favorite thing.
Isn't that cool?
That's how the Grand Circle Tour schedule is written for our it's the wheel. I put all our names in the wheel, and that's who works together. So there we go. Congratulations to Panda. Congratulations to Panda. Somebody tag Panda in here. Mary has his address. There we go. You can get it from Mary. Somebody message Panda and tell him he won. Get him on here. All righty, Justin, what happened with your trip there?
Well, I went on vacation and it was fun. End of story. No,
we had a good time.
It was good. It was good. So yeah, we went. I mean, this was a grand road trip. So we started from North Dakota, of course, and we drove the whole way. So a lot of people, when they take this Grand Circle trip, a very common thing to do is like fly into like Las Vegas, because you can usually get some cheap flights there or whatever, and rent a car there and go around. It's like, no. We decided to drive the whole way ourselves. we're crazy that way. But that way we got to take our own car and stuff. So we started. One of the first places we stopped was in Belfouche, South Dakota, and this is they call it the center of the nation.
Huh.
Now in North Dakota, we have around Rugby, we have the center of North America. This is apparently the center of the United States if you take Hawaii and Alaska into account.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So they have like this whole thing here, depicting where this center point is of the nation. So that was one of the first places that we stopped. Very early in the morning, you can see look at my face. I have not had coffee yet.
Jason is saying next time you should try taking your house. Just tie some balloons to it. I've heard it works.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. This looks familiar. Is this from 2000? No, Space Invaders? No, what was that movie called?
I believe the movie you're searching for is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, starring Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes, Space Invaders of the Fifth Kind. That's what it was.
So we went to Devil's Tower. Now, neither one of us had never been there, so we were kind of like, we were going to be close to this, so we were like, we have to stop there. So we stopped there. We took this. This is actually kind of from the back side, because you can do a whole walk around. There's a path to kind of walk all the way around it. So we did this nice little walk through the forest. It was really nice. And here's the thing. So if you're going to go on a tour like this, if you're going to go see a bunch of national parks, one of the things you should do is get a national parks annual pass, because it will pay for yourself if you're going to hit even 3 of them. We were hitting like 5 of them, but it also works for things like this, because this is a national monument. And the National Parks annual pass works for these things as well.
Do they have any like plaque or anything saying from I'm going to say 2001, A Third Adventure? What's it called again?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You and your name, Stan.
Yeah. The Planet of the Apes.
They don't necessarily go all in on that, but they did have this in the gift.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
There we go. Right there.
So there is some acknowledgement of that sort of history. We also stopped, now this was in Grand Junction, Colorado. There's a giant minifig outside of the one Lego store. It's like
Lily wants to know if
it's
the
called
mountain
E-Bricks.
Is the mountain new? I think she's referring to the center of the country. I'm joking.
Oh, I did not stop there when.
No, the center where that plaque you were seeing.
Yeah, the center. Yeah, the center of the nation. I don't know exactly how long it's been there. This is not the first time I have been there, but so it's been there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was Grand Junction, Colorado. Giant minifig outside of E-Bricks.
So is there a reason that Lego has that there? Is that where it was?
E-Brick.
It's not an official Lego store. It's an unofficial Lego distributor. They buy and sell like used Lego and such.
It's called the E-Brick.
And so they have like this giant minifig out front, and so we were looking for things like that because we love this kind of thing, and we actually got some coffee from the Mountain Air Roasters that is advertised on his coffee mug there, because that's right next door.
So it's not official Lego. You can get a Nick Wilde there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's real Lego that they sell, but it's an
okay. Yeah.
It's not run by the Lego company or anything like that. So this was from the Mill Canyon Dinosaur Track Site. So this is one of many dinosaur tracks that are preserved in the rock.
Wow.
Wow.
How does that? Oh, I guess but is it up or is it? It looks like
it's down. So
it looks like it's
just the way the shadow is on this particular photo. But
very cool.
So that was some place else that we stopped along the way. So we, like I said, we did a bunch of different things. Then we got to the first one on the official Grand Circle tour, Canyonlands National Park. And this is I would say of these, they're a little less impressive, but it does have like one of the things is like this nice big arch.
Yeah.
You can see kind of back behind there. A lot of this in all of these parks, you're seeing like these layers of rock all the way through. And they've shifted over time. So there's like so many years of history of how all of this developed and the land shifted and moved and rock layers moved up and then were recovered by new rock layers and such. And it's very interesting. But we're there for the sites like this.
You have like I remember one last time you had like an audio guide, I think, didn't you? Did you have?
Yeah, so this one we had the same one. So it used to be called Gypsy Guide. Now it's called Guide Along.
Okay, it was an app you had, I think, right?
Yeah, it is an app, and it does very well. Even if you're in places where you do not have cell phone reception, it's because it's just using your GPS. Interestingly enough, there was a section of this trip where even that wasn't good enough. It could not tell where we were, even on GPS. We were so far off the beaten trail.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So can you go to the edge of that and look over the mountain, like look down? Is it blocked off?
So right here, so you can see in the previous picture, I mean, I was sitting right up there on that edge. So you can look there.
So is there like a huge drop down there?
It's a pretty sizable drop, yeah.
You would want to
behind me there.
I'm afraid of heights, so when I did that when we were in Wyoming, I crawled to the edge and I was like right against the ground, like so scared. But I just wanted to get right to the edge and get my face on the edge and look down.
You know, the thing is like I am not as scared of that. And I'll walk up to the edge of these things and like because it's solid rock. It's been there for ages. I'm fine, and I can still be like a foot or two away. And Monica's like, no, don't go so close.
That's me. I'm scared.
It's like these are designed by the Empire. There's no railings anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, and here's some more where you can kind of see some of the layers kind of cut in and carved in. And I like this picture because it looks kind of like that dinosaur track. Only much larger.
Do they know they're dinosaurs and not aliens? Those tracks? Because they kind of look alien-like to me.
Right.
So the next place we went was Arches National Park. And we went there the first day we went there bright and early in the morning and hiked up to what is called Delicate Arch. This is like a mile and a half one way. It's considered a moderate or difficult hike. And a lot of it is like over, you can see this rock here. It's called slick rock. It's very hard rock. There's not much to grip onto. And there are places where you get to it and I can see I'm here and somewhere above my head is where the other people are. And I have to like climb up this rock to get there.
Oh,
so are those people there or just lost toques?
These are people for scale.
No, in the foreground.
Yeah, those are two people behind this big rock.
Yeah, okay.
So when you get to this part, right, there's this big rock, almost like a fence. And as you can tell, it stops no one because there's a bunch of people over there taking photos. And there's us taking a photo.
So who took this photo?
So as we were standing in the photo line, there was a person behind us who wanted someone to take her photo. And I said, well, I'll take your photo if you'll take our photo.
Okay. Right at the very bottom there, it looks like there's a little face. Looks like there's a nose and a couple of eyes. Or am I just imagining it? It's just the way the day.
I saw it too. Yeah.
Time of day. Do you see
it's
it?
What the aliens did when they designed it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at, but sure, why not? I see a lot of faces.
Like on the left side.
Just to the left of you, like at the bottom of the arch.
You
Like
guys are on
here?
the right side, and
Like
yes,
Yeah, right
right
there.
there.
Yeah, that's a face right there.
I think that's mostly shadow, but yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
see that.
the aliens carved it.
Yeah,
I
down
thought it
down
was a face
here,
too.
down here, this is all like a whole like canyon basically underneath there.
Oh wow.
There were people that walked all the way down there, and I don't know how they got there, and I don't know how they got back out afterward.
Yeah.
Or if how is
Or
this
if
formed? Is this like wind or that forms this or what? Like how does what causes it?
basically, it kind of like erodes away. So the inside here kind of starts eroding away. I mean, it's wind, it's rain. Bits of this dissolve faster than other bits, and so things will like erode away, and then other pieces will start to fall off as some of this has eroded away to form an entry. You know, bits above will start to be pulled down by gravity and eventually fall away. So
That is
it's
crazy.
a lot of combination of forces.
I kind of think that the Roadrunner or the Coyote painted that opening.
Beep.
The Roadrunner think it was fake and or real and tried to run through it.
I'm laughing at our chats over here.
Steve
Jason's
doesn't.
with
Steve
me
doesn't
crawling
see.
to the edge.
Yeah, Steve doesn't see the face.
He doesn't see the face
Steve
either.
doesn't see the face.
I
All
love
right,
it.
yeah.
Lily's been to the
Wow.
Arches National Park in 1981. Glad to see that arch is still there.
Yeah, and here's another. So this is just a little arch
Mhm.
that's kind of on the path to Delicate Arch, and you can kind of see Delicate Arch there in the background.
Yeah.
So how far away is that from where you are? Is it like walkable or is it?
From where I'm standing,
Mhm.
you have to go. I had to climb up to where this is,
Mhm.
um,
Okay.
and otherwise it's on the path. So if I go back down this way and climb back down, then I can go kind of around the corner to get to where that big wall was, and then climb over that wall to get back out to where the arch is.
So did you do a lot
Kind of
of
around the corner.
hiking? Was it like a lot of hills and hiking on your trip?
We did quite a bit of hiking. We weren't sure if we were going to be in shape for hiking because we've both been a little sedentary for the last few years. Haven't we all, right?
Yes.
So we were like a little afraid. It's like we're like way up in elevation. We're not as in shape or not feeling as in shape as we used to, but we did really well. We had our hiking poles. You can see I'm wearing like a little backpack that is, it has water in it, and
Oh, nice.
it's one
Yeah.
of these Camelback brand ones where
Mhm.
there's like water in the back, and you can just like take sips of water whenever you need. So that's really helpful as well.
Those are
Did you
good.
see any wildlife at all, like birds or lizards or anything?
We did see some lizards. We saw a lot of deer.
Really? Okay.
In a lot of different places. Even when we were in Zion, in Moab, the town next to Zion there, we saw a bunch of deer like on the side of the road in town
Mhm.
on our way out to the park.
Okay. You didn't see any vultures circling or anything.
We saw some birds that we assumed were there to waiting for us to die, but I don't think they were vultures.
See those guy at the walking pool? Eye on him.
Yeah.
So this one's called Double Arch
Okay, cool.
because there's two arches kind of together. I actually climbed up onto it about around this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see a few people there on the bottom climbing up it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure that's an official part of the trail, but a lot of people certainly get up there, and there I am.
Cool.
That puts the size into perspective. Oh my
kidding.
gosh, it's huge.
Mm-hmm. It looked like a steep climb.
Yeah.
It was a steep climb. I'm okay with like climbing on rocks like that, but yeah, there were a few areas where I was like, okay, and I can climb up here, except that if I do that, I'm never getting back down. So maybe I'll go over here instead.
Yeah. looks amazing. Looks like a beautiful day you had too. Look at the
Yeah, it does. The clouds.
Yeah, we had gorgeous weather almost the entire way through. This is on the other side of that same parking lot. This area is called the Windows. This is the north window.
That is awesome.
Wow.
In that same park, this is called Balanced Rock.
I can see why.
You can maybe guess why it got that name.
Yeah.
This one's called Landscape Arch. And this was one of these, like, it's almost like Last Chance to See. So you can see where as this falls away, there's not much left here to fall away anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
don't.
this might not be an arch for that much longer. They're not sure how much longer this is going to stand.
Yeah, you might not want to walk across that one.
Yeah.
No kidding.
This was actually a state park. It's called Goblin Valley State Park.
Goblin Valley.
Because so these little things, they go by many names, pinnacles, or spires, or goblins is another name for these little structures that are worn away at different parts of it are worn away in more quickly and more slowly, so they form different shapes. And so there's this whole valley just full of them. You can go down there, you can walk amongst them, you can climb up on top of these. They do say try not to climb up on top of the ones that are going to break off.
Okay.
A tip for you.
And it's left as an exercise to the reader as to which ones those are.
Wow.
That's a cool mountain in the background there too.
But you can see some faces here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one. That one looks like such a face to me.
That's only
Yeah.
the fraggle.
Like
It looks almost like a Winnie the Pooh sort of face.
It does to me too. See you, Jason. Thanks for joining in.
Lily says, now I need to look at the pictures. A lot of the same parks I saw on your trip.
Yeah.
And this was also at Goblin Valley State Park. And this is one Stan used for the
Yeah.
picture for this.
And that perfect sky behind you, not a cloud in the sky.
Have a good week, Jason.
All right. So the next one was Capitol Reef National Park. And this is where we ran into the area that not even the GPS could find us.
Okay.
And even when people were like traveling across the country and whatnot, they called this a reef because it was so difficult to get past. And so the people who had been in the sailing industry thought of reefs in that same way. So they called this a reef. So that's part of where it got its name. And so again, you have things like this as the Navajo Dome, and you see again a lot of this different structure of rocks, and there's a lot of geology that you can learn if you go to places like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very cool.
And here I included this photo because here's another where you can see like so many of these different layers. And this is actually a fault because you have on this side, you have these layers. And on this side, you have all these different layers. And this is how these layers kind of end up getting on top of the other layers as basically the earth moves, parts rise up and get on top of the other parts.
Wowzers. Ken is saying that scenes from Galaxy Quest were shot at Goblin Valley Park.
Yeah, that is true.
And your wife is reminding you to talk about the pie.
In this scene, I can totally picture the
reef before we got into the air, just before we got into the area where we couldn't be found on GPS. We're driving along. There's this little place, this little shop. One of the things they do, they grow apples. It was an apple orchard for Mormons back in the day.
Oh.
The National Park Service preserves this orchard. And so it's fall, right? It's perfect time for apples. Yeah. They make pies and sell pies at this place. You can also go pick your own apples. That's something else.
What type of apples are they?
They're apples. They're very good apples.
They're yummy.
We didn't even have an apple pie. We had a peach pie and a berry pie.
Oh yeah, that's great. The rocks in the foreground here are really cool too. Those square things, those are neat.
Mm-hmm.
You should have taken one of those home for me. Mailed me one.
But yeah, so we got to this point. We stopped. We had our pie, and then after that, as we were going down this path, even the GPS couldn't find us. So I don't know. Maybe the GPS was jealous that we had pie and it didn't. I don't know, but it was very good pie.
Awesome. This totally looks like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is a lot of the influence for those environments. But I liked this. This was something I thought was just kind of interesting to see, like these fall leaves in amongst all of these
evergreens,
pine trees.
Yeah.
And we were on this road. This is a scenic byway. It's Highway 12, I think, as we're driving along. It's a scenic byway. It's wonderful. Most of the time, we started off, we're going through like forests like this, and off to the side of the road, occasionally there's like a cow, like right next to the road. He doesn't care. He's just eating his grass or whatever. And we're driving along, and all of a sudden we come out, and on both sides of the highway, it is like sheer drop-offs. No railings, no nothing, just drop-offs and a valley on both sides as far as the eye can see.
Wow.
And it's twisting and turning.
Oh my gosh.
It's apparently called the hogback. And we didn't know that this was going to happen. Because we come out of like forest and suddenly there's hogback.
That just sounds terrifying.
Terrifying. And then all the way down, it's like it's all twisting and turning. So if you're coming from the other direction, you kind of have time to build up to this. But from the direction we were going, it was like all just forest and trees and mountains going up on either side of us. And all of a sudden, like, nope, valleys on both sides.
Monica is saying there was no picture. She was too busy screaming and hiding to take
pictures. No kidding.
Yeah. Which is the proper reaction. And so then we got to our next point of call, and it was we were staying at the Circle D hotel, and I felt like I was in Schitt's Creek all of a sudden. I was just
it does look like that.
Yeah.
This was like, what are we doing here? Now, if you like national parks, there's a podcast called Dear Bob and Sue. It's hosted by Matt and Karen Smith, who wrote the Dear Bob and Sue series of books, where they talk about their travels as they go to various national parks around the country. This is actually one of the places that they like to stay.
Oh, really?
Which is one of the reasons that we chose it. And we got there and it's like, it's actually fine. The room was fine. There's a restaurant at the other end of this building that was really good. We had some wine. We had some very good food. It was a wonderful place. But yeah, when we first got there, we were like, what is this? What did we just book ourselves into here?
Yeah.
I like how there's an ice trough over top of like the steps, so you don't get wet if it's raining or whatever coming off the metal roof. But there's no downspout. It just overflows on the sides and the front, I guess.
So next up was Bryce Canyon.
Yay.
Okay. No pictures of the inside of the room. How much was the room?
We paid too much for every hotel we stayed in. I swear.
Really?
It was all expensive. This was Bryce Canyon. So this was another area where this one was one where you could really look down into the valleys a lot. And one of our first days here, we were there in the morning and we walked down into what's called the Queen's Garden.
That's beautiful.
Bright and early in the morning. And that is the Queen. Sort of a Queen Victoria looking figure here.
Okay, I thought it was a witch's hat.
Looks like a witch's hat. Yeah.
Okay, Chad, is that a witch's hat or a queen?
My favorite witch is the Queen. Whoop.
Yeah, and this was the natural bridge. I mean, there's a lot of things to see here, but this one was one where you could walk around the rim a lot, or drive along or walk along the rim of this Great Canyon, and you're mostly looking down. And so you see all these great sights from above.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like, if you go back, that looks like the almost like the place that Anakin grew up in episode 1.
And Tatooine, yeah.
Tatooine, the slaves' quarters.
Sure.
It kind of looks very much like that. Are there like birds living in there, or bats? I mean, bats probably live in there, I bet.
Oh boy.
Those are just like arches. I mean, or arches to be. I mean, they're not truly arches until they break all the way through. But that's just the erosion that leads to the arches that you see later on.
Justin, you're a Disney fan, so you're used to overpriced things.
Oh.
But where Bryce Canyon, you're looking down, in Zion Canyon now, you're looking up all the time.
Okay.
So the first thing we start off here, you go through, we went through, it's called the Mount Carmel Tunnel. I think it's like 1.5 miles long. It was one of these, it's like, it was built by hand. I mean, they were like,
pickaxe,
dynamite and pickaxes to build this through. And they have like various windows all throughout. And Monica actually got this great shot as we were driving through.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Wow.
Through one of those windows. But like I say, here you're looking up at all of these mountains now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So this is like the one. This one's called the Narrows. So we were doing the Riverside Walk that goes up to this. Past this, they call it the Narrows, and basically you can go on. I forget how much farther along this trail goes, but the trail isn't really a trail. The trail is the river. You walk in the river, and it can get as high as like waist deep or chest deep at times.
They sell boats, eh?
You're walking against the current. So a boat isn't going to work unless you're paddling really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't do that. We got up to this point and looked at the people walking the river and went, yeah, we're going to turn around and go the other way.
Yeah, my socks are wet.
And here, this is again a nice mountain, but if you zoom in a little bit, you can see someone is climbing.
Oh wow!
So there's a bunch of climbers. This is one of the great places for these people to
die.
Go. Only if they fall.
That's what I said when we were in Wyoming. I was like, I can totally see how easy it would be to die out here. It was so beautiful, but we're doing these crazy things that I don't typically do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna
like feeding a horse with your bare hands.
This one's called the Weeping Wall. So
okay, I
see why, underneath it here, we got up here. You can see here there's a bunch of plant life growing. Because what happens is, most of this is rock. Solid rock, right? You get the water in there, it can't come down, so it ends up going kind of out until it can finally find a place to come down. And that's where it can kind of be squeezed out enough. And then you get a lot of plant life there because there's enough water for them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Very cool. Seems like I've seen that before when I was a kid somewhere. Okay.
Mary's gonna stay on the ground with me and watch.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Oh, and here's me eating ice cream. So this is always good.
Oh yay! Ice cream and pie.
We stopped at another state park. This one's called Coral Pink Sand Dunes. And true to its name,
yeah.
Big sand dunes in the middle of this. There was an ATV tour, but we did not go on it. They were just leaving.
So do these dunes move like they do like in Egypt and all that, where they over time they're moving, or are these pretty permanent?
Just with the wind and such, they're going to shift and move all the time.
Yeah. Very cool. Like those fences will be gone before like someday. So
we also stopped this place. This was called the Little Hollywood Museum. The museum itself is like kind of hiding back here, but nice big sign. And here's your Disney connection. So this little cabin was used in a Disney movie called One Little Indian, starring, I believe it was Jodie Foster and James Garner.
Oh wow, and it's still standing, all right.
Yeah, so it is here. There was also some farm implements from John Carter of Mars and a whole bunch of other movies. So a lot of these things they have like the original set pieces in this kind of like this little Western town back as part of their museum. So that was kind of fun. I'm always a movie buff, and I love seeing things like that. And this one's for Jason. This is the Glen Canyon Dam, which forms Lake Powell. And if you are a Doctor Who fan, there are some episodes, I think it's like The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon, where Doctor Who and his companions, Rory and Amy, travel to the United States. And there are scenes that take place both here on Glen Canyon Dam and on Lake Powell. In fact, right back about here, I believe, is where they filmed the one scene with Doctor and River Song.
Is Dan still in the chat?
This one was called Dead Horse Point. The story about why it's called Dead Horse Point is very sad, but I will say that this is called an entrenched meander where this river kind of comes around like that. And so that's a very scenic outlook. And then we got to Antelope Canyon.
That's neat.
So this is called a slot canyon, and you walk through this little area.
So how
and
big
right now you can only do this on a tour. They used to let people go in there all the time. A bunch of people died, so they shut it down. Now it's only on tours.
That way the whole tour group dies instead of just.
They used to have people go
This is why we
through
can't
here
have nice things.
in both directions, and now since COVID, they only have people go through in one direction at a time, which makes it actually a lot nicer.
Like, is this huge, or is this like you could touch the walls?
At places, so like here, you could touch the walls, and apparently, I mean, water comes through here, right? I mean, they have regular flooding and whatnot, and the floor will change height. And it can go up, it can go down. So like this part here can be like several feet in the air, or at the moment it was like, maybe 2 feet in the air.
Are we talking over years or over months or what?
Like over a season.
Oh wow, crazy.
So it just depends on how much silt and sand is swept out and how much is swept back in to replace it.
Okay.
This one's supposed to look like kind of like a heart.
I think this is a picture of the inside of your ear. Monica's checking to see if there's anything in there.
And so then we went to Monument Valley, and and this is one of these places that you look at it and go, I've seen that. You may not have ever been there, but you've seen it in the background of so many things. You have no idea.
Yeah, I think like every single Western ever made.
Yes.
Well, that's how it got started, was a guy named Harry Goulding went to Hollywood and badgered people, and he finally got John Ford to look at his pictures, and John Ford went, I have to film some things there. So he started filming Westerns there. And that's what basically started the career of this young actor named John Wayne, you might have heard of.
Maybe once or twice.
I want to go there and start filming movies. Never mind.
And so we got to go there on a sunrise tour.
Ooh.
And so that was pretty awesome.
Mary does not want to do this tour.
And so I love the lighting as the sun just kind of comes up there. This is actually called John Ford Point, named for John Ford. Yeah, flash floods go through these. It's like they stop all tours if there's any rain. We took a tour for the sunrise tour because you can go on this road. You can kind of see there's a road here, right? You can drive on that road. You don't want to drive on that road. It's It's sandy, it's rocky, it is bad for your vehicle in so many ways. You don't want to be the one driving on this road. Take a tour.
Or a rental.
No, take a tour unless you're prepared to, as the parlance goes, self-rescue.
I'm with Mary. No coffee and a sunrise tour. Sounds like Dale. I totally would have done it. Sounds amazing. But yeah, I have to have coffee.
And so this section of road is very famous as well. Have any of you seen the movie Forrest Gump?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's running forever and ever.
And this is where he stopped
running, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
this is where he stops running. And so there's like a pull out. There's like they slow down the traffic. Okay. They have signs up saying only park in designated areas. They have special pullouts because people will stop here and they will go out in the middle of the road. And you see there's traffic on this road. Yeah. They will stand out in the middle of the road and take their pictures.
Well, yeah, you gotta.
And again, for your Doctor Who fans, those same couple of episodes, this is also where Doctor Who met Amy and Rory.
Yeah, I totally would want to stop there. Kind of like petting the fluffy cows, the bison. You just got to do it, right?
That road is like my girl.
We went a little long here. I was trying to like rush it here at the end.
Yeah, we're near
Monica
the end.
says they had coffee, so the vacation was fun.
The motel had a Keurig, so we.
Good.
That road was like my first girlfriend. No curves. That was exciting. That was good. It looked like a lot of fun. The
loved it. Tour. We loved seeing all your photos. It just looks like it was a wonderful trip.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we saw a lot of things. I mean, this was, right. I think we literally took between the two of us like over 1,300 pictures. This was only 60.
Yeah.
Wow. Is next week our Halloween show? It is too. Next week's our Halloween show.
Ooh.
Yes, someone should write that script. I don't know.
I don't know what that means, but it's our last show before Halloween.
I'm excited to be spending a few days at Fort Wilderness to see all the Halloween decorations. So expect lots of photos from my from my feed. I always love that.
That was good. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to think of a Halloween show for next week, right? Do we want to?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
You're going to be. When are you going to that? This Sunday, Beatrice?
Saturday we check in.
Are you working next Thursday?
Yeah, I'll be working next Thursday, but
alrighty, we'll figure out something for Halloween.
Yeah.
We'll tell ghost jokes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Why is it that nobody likes to eat ghosts?
Why?
Because they taste like sheets.
Sheets.
They taste like sheets.
All right, so we'll get someone other than Stan to write the joke. that much is obvious.
Why did the ghost cross the road?
Why?
He had a bone to pick with the chicken. Alrighty, I'm sorry.
Oh, look at the time.
No one is going to tune in next week. You know
no one's going to be here next week. We're gonna have -8 people watching. Anyways, visit our YouTube channel. Click the like button if you enjoyed this show. Let us know.
View us on Twitch.
Yeah, we're on Twitch now, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. That's parts unknown. Alrighty, gang. Have a great week.
It's been fun. Thanks for sharing your trip.
Bye-bye. Thank you.